Uh, Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining today's AMCAT podcast. With this podcast, we aim to highlight the importance of employability assessments. What are the benefits of doing these assessments, and how do they help students to get industry ready? To discuss the same today, on our podcast, we have with us Professor Swati More, Head Central Corporate Relations and Placement Cell, MIT ADT University, Pune. Professor Swati, welcome, and we are pleased to have you on our podcast today. Before we start, I would like to request you to quickly tell us and our audience about yourself and MIT ADT University.
Yes. Very good morning, everyone. My name is Professor Swati More. I'm heading the Central Corporate Relations and Placement Cell at MIT ADT University. I'm an engineering graduate with a management degree in human resources. So I've worked 17 years in the corporate in a various domain. In my last assignment, I was associated with Bharti Airtel Group as an area HR manager. And to achieve my long cherished dream of having a PhD, I've joined education sector. And it's been 7 years I'm into education sector, taking care of training and placement activities. And in my tenure as a training and placement head, I have recruited I have rather placed more than 10,000 students. And presently, I've joined MIT ADT in the month of November, and we have 14 institute under MIT ADT University. It is a very unique university which focuses into all circles. Like, as you say, ADT stands for Art, Design and Technology Circle. So we have schools right from music to for technology to architecture, engineering, management, you name the stream, it is available under one umbrella. MIT is a very well-known brand across India and internationally too. MIT Group has a legacy of 40 plus years. We have 4 universities under MIT umbrella. So the campus which I represent is the ADT. We have a MIT World Peace University. We have Avantika University under this. We have a very well-known design institute in Shillong. And this particular campus is 125 acres campus based in Pune's Loni area. So we have a very well-known institute in our campus. As I said, there are 14 different schools and there are 3 supporting schools to ensure that every student of ours get a quality education and they pass out with a happy minds and they add a value as an individual to the country's growth. So our focus, our vision is very clear that we don't just want to impart technical education, but we want our students to be spiritually elevated also. So that's briefly about myself and the university that I represent.
Thanks for a brief intro. It was quite an insight for all of us. Let us begin. And my first question to you is, what are your thoughts on employability assessments, their importance, and how do they help students become industry ready?
Right. As I mentioned, sort of that, I come from industry. I have worked there for quite a long time, and now I'm in education. So I understand both these sides very well. What is the expectation of the industry, and what has been expected out of the students? So there is a huge gap. What has been taught in the institute, and what has been expected by the industry. So to bridge the gap, it is very important that we give some add-ons to the students. Okay, so not only the theoretical knowledge, but there are some hands-on experience that needs to be given to the students so that they become employable. There is no such thing that there are no opportunities. The market is very good. I mean, there is no question on the opportunities, but the question is on the employability skills of the student. So every organization is looking at particular skill set in a student or a prospective hire so that they get the right material which can be a better fit in their organization. So being a student, they are very raw. So if assessments are used as a platform to check the competencies of every student, it becomes easier for the student also to check his or her abilities, whether he or she is employable or not. In turn, it helps the organization, the institute, to match the profiling of the students, their expectation and where they fit into. Okay, so assessment is a platform by which organization can check the competencies of all the students. They can work upon the training requirements of that particular student, and then can they give a value proposition to the prospective campus recruiter. Okay, these are the students are available with these competencies with us. Okay, so there are two benefits to it. One, at a student level, because there is a huge competition. We find it every year in India itself, 4 lakh plus engineers are getting passed out. But are they really employable? There is a big question on the employability skills. So it is very important for every student, for that matter, to check whatever he or she has gained in the 4 years of engineering, are they able to apply? So how will they be able to come to know where they stand in all categories? It's not only one aspect. It is not only technical. There are soft skills, hard skill and soft skill combinations as well. Like organization, they want multidisciplinary things in a prospective student. Okay, so it is a responsibility of a student as well as to the organization to there is a competition I mentioned. So to stand out in a market, every college has a onus of conducting this kind of assessment and ensuring that the training needs are analyzed and given to the student so that they provide the best quality student to the prospective campus hires. Okay, so assessment plays a very important role.
Yes, yes, completely agree with you, ma'am. With companies' expectation increasing day by day,
Right.
every institute must adopt employability assessment. But
Right.
sadly, there are handful of institutions that are actually adopting these kind of tools to ensure they are working on the employability.
Right.
And the kind of a feedback that is being provided post assessment, work on that, and ensure this the we work on students' employability.
Right. So SWOT analysis is a very important parameter, and how you can do the SWOT analysis of the student by way of having a continuous assessment. So it is very recommended for all the institutes if they're really looking at a best placement, because what we pitch during admission, every student is looking for a best opportunities placement. They first ask what is your placement statistics for a couple of years. So how you can give a data to the student if you're not able to have a good placements? Companies will come to you if you're able to give them a right candidate. So assessment help in improvising the quality of the students, showing them a mirror. Okay, this is what you are standing. This is what the knowledge that you have acquired and how you're applying. There are times wherein the student have a knowledge, but they are not able to apply it. So, it is a reality check by putting the students through assessments. The organization, the institute also get a reality check about the quality of the student, and the student himself or herself get a reality check. So, yes.
Yes, ma'am, completely agree with you. If you work on the employability, the placement scenario will automatically improve.
Exactly.
So I'll move on to my next question. So MIT ADT University Pune has been conducting the employability assessments AMCAT for several years now.
Right.
How do you rate your overall AMCAT experience, and how have your students benefited from it? Would also love to hear from you the feedback that you have received from your faculties.
Right. Yeah, I would like to address step by step. Your question is in the three parts. So, yes, we have been conducting AMCAT assessment for several years, and how it has benefited our student. As I mentioned in my earlier conversation, that it is a tool to check the reality of your knowledge and your competences. So it has benefited student. If me being the part of organization telling something to student, he or she may not take it very positively. But if we put them through the assessment and they come to know from the third party that, okay, this is what my you can say strength, these are my weaknesses, and this is where I stand. So it helps in understanding, and then they take it very seriously, and they go back and reskill themselves to ensure that they have a better score in next assessment. Okay, for organization, we are able to draw a lot of analysis. We are able to give this reports to the all departments, like the AMCAT is for all streams, engineering, management. As I said, we have a different stream altogether at MIT University. So every school undergoes the AMCAT assessment based on the competencies and the core technical skills that the students are required. So we are able to give the feedback to the teaching faculties who are working on their syllabus and the additional workshop seminars that they're conducting. So whatever input we are giving to the students' development, are they really worth? Okay. And if it is the best tool to do the training need analysis and the feedback. Okay. So if I am imparting something, is it really worth? Or do I need to change something in, in designing the curriculum or in designing the inputs for the students so that they become employable? So this particular platform has helped our students in uh, recognizing their own skill set, as well as the institute has benefited in doing an in-depth analysis for the training needs, and faculties have come back and told us, okay, this particular report analysis has helped us to redesign our curriculum, and it has benefited, and there is a continuous growth, there is a continuous dialogue between the student and the faculties, and it is day by day helping us to do better.
So thanks for this kind feedback. It brings us great joy when we hear success stories like yours. Moving on. Today, the foremost skill which companies seek in fresh graduates is English competencies. How we are helping the students develop and improve their English communication skills?
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many students that are technically very strong, but since they are from vernacular background, their English is not that great. So to address this particular pain point, I'm sure many institute across Maharashtra, especially from the rural background or not so rural background also, they're facing this challenge because of the vernacular background of the students. To address this issue, MIT ADT has taken care of all things in the campus itself. Okay, we have a supporting school called as School of Holistic Development, School of Innovation and Leadership, and School of Civil Services. So you name the thing, we are offering it to our students. So in terms of student, along with right from the first year till final year, along with their regular curriculum, there is a timetable wherein the students are put through the English communication classes. There is a continuous assessment of their what has been taught to them, like is there any improvement, or do they really again need a refreshers for that. Then we have aptitude training, which has been taken care of our school. We call it as a SCIL. Then we have a holistic development wherein the personality traits, the soft skills, everything has been taken care by School of Innovation and Corporate Leadership and a School of Holistic Development. So these supporting schools are helping our student to ensure that along with the academics, they are well versed with the other aspects of life skills, so that when the companies actually come for campus hiring, they are well versed with everything. So this is how we address the English communication. There is a continuous process of conducting GDs, mock interviews. Even we teach the grammar also the student right from the first year. And we have linked this syllabus of English communication with the credit system. So it is a mandate for all the students, and everything has been designed under the able guidance of Dr. Mangesh Karat, who is our Executive Vice President and Vice Chancellor for our MIT ADT University. So he has a very strong vision of giving best of the thing to students, and this is how we address this challenge of having English communication addressed sufficiently.
A very nice perspective. Thanks for bringing it up, of calling this as a life skills. Certainly with companies going global and serving global customers,
right?
English is one language which connects the world today. Right. And hence good English communication is what I would not call as a desired skill. It is one of the life skills, as you have very rightly pointed it out.
I mean, they don't only need, I mean, companies have, as per my experience, like I've been dealing with so many companies, they don't want anybody to have an English American accent or a UK accent. They want a student who has a workable English communication. It's not only, when I say communication, it's not only about speaking, it is about verbal and written, because their customers are domestic as well as international. So are they able to communicate internally and externally with the world, so that they do their jobs efficiently? Unfortunately, a lot of companies are facing this challenge of having the right candidate when it comes to the English communication. So to address this, our AP sir has developed this School of Holistic Development, wherein the English communication has been taught right from the first year.
Sure. Thanks for your insights on this. So apart from good English, the demand for coding skill has increased tremendously. How has coding assessment like Automata and Automata Filks helped you to encourage students to take up coding more seriously? And how these coding modules have helped your students hone their coding skills?
Right. So, as you know, from last 2 years, the IT sector is booming like anything. There is a huge demand, and literally, irrespective of the background they are taking student, they just want the student having a good coding knowledge. Even if somebody is so in English communication, that will be addressed, because you need, at times you need a backend developers. They need a people who don't have to interact with the international clients for that matter. So they want excellent coder. Okay, rest of the thing is taken care by their learning and development departments. But irrespective of branch, like if I talk about engineering, there are various streams like core, circuit, and non-circuit branches. Like if mechanical is there, civil is there, aerospace is there, electrical is there. These are all core branches, circuit, non-circuit branches. So even those students now have developed a lot of fascination towards coding. Okay, so though coding is not their primary, you can say, focus, but eventually, since the market is so hot and they really getting a good opportunity, they see CSIT student getting a very high packages. So right from first year, it's a buzzword. Like the student, it's a mouth publicity. They hear from other peers of theirs that okay, the IT sector is booming and they're hiring all stream, all backgrounds they are picking up. Okay, so the coding is something that it has been taught in the school nowadays. Right. So for addressing this coding issue, even at times I've seen even CSIT students are not able to write a good code. So to address this issue, what we have done, we are using AMCAT Automata platform, which is a tool which checks the proficiency of the coding skills. Okay, it does not only check the proficiency, but it gives the accuracy check, and it also helps in giving an input like how is your execution. All right, I have seen a lot of students coming with the confidence I am the excellent coder, but when you put them through the assessment, the things are altogether different.
The reality check
Until,
happens.
yes. So to bring them into the normal level and giving them what has been their actual level of coding, it helps us to use this platform of Automata, wherein the coding proficiency can be checked. If at all, they need some training after that, we are able to give them that. Okay, then Automata Fix has helped us in it is a fantastic. There are so many good partners in assessment partner. So it's not something that I'm talking about. I'm not today, so I'm praising. But it's my real. There are other vendors source, and they are also doing a good job. But my experience with AMCAT has been very wonderful. I've done a lot of analysis. Most of the companies are using AMCAT, so it becomes easy for me to convince students that rather than using multiple programs, you use 2 or 3 atom max and get well versed with the system. Because before the company actual hiring process is coming in, you'll have a hands-on experience how to appear. You will be able to analyze how much time you're taking to write the code, how well you're writing. It is not only about writing the code, it is how well you're writing it, how correctly you're writing it. So as you must be knowing that there are a lot of companies are coming with a differential package concept. And this Automata has helped us, in giving a value proposition to the companies. I have so many student assess and their coding skills are like this. So they stand. So I am able to propose a batch to the I will call as a recruiter, that I have students who are assessed and their coding skills are like this. So if you really want, you can consider these are the ready people. Okay. And Automata Fix, my experience has been wonderful, because right now it's not only about writing the code. Are you able to debug it? Are you able to check the earnest reality of the codes? Are you able to rewrite the functionality using the same functions and the data given? Okay, so there are a lot of checks, and this is how the crowd of the same batch able to differentiate himself or herself by practicing more, and by way of doing well with this platform, they'll be able to crack good companies of higher packages. Like we have Google coming in, we have Microsoft services coming in, but they hire very few students. So only students who are well versed with the coding skill, they will be able to get a good CTCs. So this is how these two tools have been, helping us a lot in improvising the coding skill of our students.
Sure, ma'am. That has always been our agenda of providing a value to all of our customers and providing the tools which are going to help them, be with the current trends, market trends, and ensure the needs of the institute are fulfilled.
Right.
We also understand that every college and university must have faced similar kind of needs like yours. And as the world is moving towards more of online system, the need for coders has been increasing day by day.
Right.
Right. So, ma'am, this brings me to my last question to you. Uh, AMCAT provides a detailed, customized feedback report to the students, and it also provides a consolidated report to the campus. How have these reports helped you design your training program?
Right. So, talking about the personal student report, that helps them to understand, as I earlier mentioned, that it's a reality check for every student. It is such an in-depth report that they understand like every section where they stand. I think there is a cutoff for everything and how well they can score in the next. So how we use the AMCAT platform to design our training. So there is a pre-assessment, then the training, and the post-assessment. Right. So when I put the students before the training, when I put them, I check where they stand as of now. And then we go back, we do the detailed analysis of this report, and we arrive at a categorization of A, B, C, D. Like how many students are job ready, how many are above average, how many are average, and how many are below average. So since we are fortunate enough to have a supporting school which addresses all these requirements, we have a design a detailed training program based on the AMCAT assessment, and the trainings are given to the student based on the categories. And again, there is evaluation after the training program, and we check whether there is a difference between pre and post assessment, and we have seen the sizable difference. So yes, these reports have helped us in analyzing the training needs of our organization, our students for that matter, and we are able to rework whatever things. Every batch is different. Every batch needs a lot of rework because the quality of student differs from batch to batch. At times to get very good student, at times to get mediocre, at times to get very bad student also. But at the same time, it is our responsibility to make them employable. So we have this kind of reports have helped us in monitoring our training programs and rework the employability enhancement programs of us. So thanks to you for that.
That is great to know, ma'am. And we hope the students can get the most out of it and progress towards a successful career. It was wonderful talking to you, ma'am. On behalf of SHL, I would like to thank you for taking out time to chat with us and to share your thoughts with us. I would also like to thank our audience for joining us today. In case anyone has any further questions or need any assistance from us, please feel free to reach out to us at campus@shl.com, or you can always reach out to our representatives who are in touch with you. Thanks again, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's been my privilege to be associated with AMCAT SHL, and I'm getting a wonderful support from your team, especially Ankur is continuously in touch with us. And whatever we require, we can demand, okay, this is what we require. And the service aspect of yours is very nice. So thank you once again. I'm really looking forward to have a long-term association and keep giving us the best of the things available with your organization.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you for our audience also. Stay safe, stay connected. Goodbye.